Kamathipura is Mumbai's oldest and Asia's largest red light district. It was first settled after 1795 with the construction of causeways that connected the erstwhile 7 islands of Bombay. Initially known as Lal Bazaar, it got its name from the Kamathis of Telangana state, who were labourers on construction sites. Due to tough police crackdown, in the late 1990s with the rise of AIDS and government's redevelopment policy that helped sex workers to move out of the profession and subsequently out of Kamathipura, the number of sex workers in the area has dwindled. In 1992, Bombay Municipal Corporation recorded there were 50,000 sex workers here, which was reduced to 1,600 in 2009, with many sex workers migrating to other areas in Maharashtra and real estate developer taking over the high-priced real estate. History. After the completion of the Hornby Velad project in 1784, which built a causeway uniting all 7 islands of Bombay under William Hornby, Governor of Bombay, plugged the Great Breach in Mahalakshmi, while the subsequent Bellasys Road Causeway joined Marzagain and Malabar Hill in 1793. This resulted in several low-lying marshy areas of Mumbai flats like Byculla, Tadio, Mahalakshmi and Kamathipura opening up for habitation. Thereafter, starting 1795, Kamathis of Telangana state, working as labourers on construction sites, began settling here, giving the area its present name. It was bounded by Bellasys Road on the north, by Grant Road on the south and the main road across, Falkland Road. At one point during this period it was home to a Chinese community, which worked as dockhands and ran restaurants. By the late 19th century it all changed. Till then, as previous 1864 census figures for Bombay indicate, other areas had a larger population of prostitutes, like Jergaon, Vanaswadi and Umberkari compared with Kamathipura, all which declined after 1864. This small region boasted the most exotic consorts. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, a large number of women and girls from continental Europe and Japan were trafficked into Kamathipura, where they worked as prostitutes servicing British soldiers and local Indian men. Gradually, social stratification also took place. A busy road in Kamathipura was known as Safe Gully owing to the European prostitutes housed here during the British Raj. The lane is now known as Kurzitji Shaklorji Street. The first venereal disease clinic of Bombay was opened in 1916, taken over by BMC in 1925. Nearby, Bachchusheth Ki Wadi on Foras Road was famous for its Kathulis or wives and mras. When the British left India, the Indian sex workers took over. In recent decades, large numbers of Nepalese women and girls have also been trafficked into the district as sex workers. Over the years under Indian government rule, the sex industry in Kamathipura continued to flourish, and trafficking brought women from different parts of the country here. Eventually it became Asia's largest sex district. Today, it is said that there are so many brothels in the area that there is no space for the sex workers to sit. They hang around in the streets, solicit customers, and then rent an available bed. The 3,000-odd buildings in the area are largely dilapidated and in urgent need of repairs. Safe drinking water and sanitation is scarce as well. Lingana Patel Pujari, who migrated to Mumbai from Nizamabad in Telangana in 1928 and was a prominent social worker and city and state legislator, was largely responsible for most of the civic amenities available to the residents of Kamathipura today. Some historical sources point out that the origin of slums, subsequently the red light areas of Mumbai including Kamathipura, is related to land acquisition from the indigenous locals who were evicted from their farmlands and cattle fields and forced themselves to live in congested conditions, for the development of the industrial harbour city. At the early stages, people accumulated in the new slums partly depended on constructions contracts. Later, as men became unemployed due to lack of jobs, more women turned up selling themselves in the red streets for livelihood. Now these streets are playgrounds for human traffickers and mafia in addition to the economic refugees who came during the past years. In the 1970s and early 80s Bachchuwadi at Kamathipura was frequented by gang leaders from Mumbai underworld, such as Haji Mastan, Karam Lala, and Dawood Ibrahim. In 2005, With a statewide ban on dance bars, many dancing girls, who couldn't find other means of income, moved to prostitution to survive, in Mumbai's red light districts, like Kamathipura. According to police, in 2005, there were 100,000 prostitutes working out of five-star hotels and brothels across Mumbai. The area is home to a small cottage industry of about 200 women who make a living rolling beadis. Demographics: Kamathipura is divided into roughly 14 lanes and divided according to regional and linguistic backgrounds of the sex workers. Most of the sex workers come from other Indian states. In Nepal there is little interaction between areas, which makes it harder for social organizations to organize them into a movement or union. Further, lack of public opinion, political leadership or social activism which is empathetic towards them means a tough time forming unions. The area had 55,936 voters in 2007, out of which 6,500 Telugus. The rest are Marathi, South Indians and East Indians. Since 2005, the Sangha Mitra Collective, run by and for the sex workers of Kamathipura, has provided practical assistance to women in the sex trade as well as helping to rescue children and trafficked women from the brothels. See also, Prostitution in India, Notes. References: Ashwini Tam. Codes of Misconduct, Regulating Prostitution in Late Colonial Bombay. University of Minnesota Press. ISBN A0-8166-5138-8. Ashwini Tam. Managed Stratification in Bombay Brothels, 1914–1930. Swedish South Asian Studies Network, Lund University. Retrieved November 6, 2013. Shavari Ajit. University of Utah. Gender-based violence among female sex workers of Kamathipura, Mumbai, India, a contextual analysis. ProQuest. PA 17. ISBN A0-549-94774-4. External links: The Day My God Died, documentary by PBS, Frontline interview with Rainey Ronson, Frontline, India, The Sex Workers, 2004, watch YouTube documentary on a school in Kamathipura.